how do I be safe on the internet? And the first recommendation I have is don't be friends with Charles because you'll never be safe on the internet.
Well, my first recommendation is teach your kid how to say the right thing.
It's a trick question. You can't be safe on the internet.
Yeah.
The way to be the safest to keep your computer safe is to unplug it from the internet.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, but you can't really be safe on Safari. The best way to be safe on Safari is don't go on Safari.
Right.
Not the browser, actually in Africa with lines and stuff.
That's true. It's not the computer that's the problem. It's the internet.
It's the people, Kurt. Let's be real. It's the people on the internet.
And our AI overlords.
Those AI overlords. Charles loves the AI overlords.
You think I'm not the AI overlord, which is what's funny. So, Joe, come on. This is your segment, baby. Let's go. This is where you put the pedal on the right and you hit
Joe came prepared. He came prepared with one line. Unplug your computer from the internet.
I will tell you, I've had to talk with all my kids, with my boys specifically, and I've had to say, look, with the way technology is, I can't stop you from getting on the internet. We'll tell you if you have questions about anything, you need to come talk to me, and let this be tattooed in your brain forever. What has been seen can never be unseen.
That is true.
So you better think twice, 3 times, and don't ever, of course, the basics of security. Never click a link. Never click an ad. Don't download stuff that looks stupid. I mean, cheap. I've taught them how to see cheap, quick rip-off apps versus actual bad game apps. There's dumb games, but they're still legit apps. But Joe, you said recently you just had the talk with Kelsey to help her out. So what'd you tell her?
Not with Kelsey, with my kids.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Yeah. So I had to have a talk with them because they were on a website and they clicked about and a pop-up came up that was very much not kid appropriate. And so we had a talk about only going to websites. Basically, for now, it's only websites that mom and dad approve of. And to never click the ads if there are any. Like on YouTube, there are ads. Never click the ads, regardless of what they are. I don't care if it's an ad, and I mean, Facebook and YouTube and stuff get a bunch of fake ads that claim to be like Mr. Beast, for instance. And he's like, "We'll give you $1,000, and we're doing a giveaway." And that's not how Mr. Beast operates. He doesn't do that kind of thing. If he's gonna do a giveaway, he does it on a video. And so, yeah, to basically only go to the websites that mom and dad approve of, and don't click on ads. And that can be extrapolated to general knowledge instead of just my kids. Only go to websites that you trust, and don't if you get, for instance, if you get an email and it's your bank's, it's your bank saying that you need to log in and correct something ASAP, don't click any links in the the email.
We covered that an hour ago. Don't click links.
Yeah, and if you are worried about it possibly being real, because sometimes your bank will email you, go to the web browser and type your bank's name directly and log in, or call them and say, "Hey, I got this email. Is that a legit email?" Because usually they have some kind of an interactions log on your account that they can check and say, "Hey, yeah, no, that really was from us. You do have something flagged on your account or whatever." And definitely never trust any Nigerian princes.
Well, I know Naru. He's all right. But yeah, I'm glad you mentioned pop-ups because I forgot to mention that, but that's one of the first things I taught my kids, even to the point where a legit pop-up came up the other day. They stopped what they're doing and brought it to me and said, "Hey, we're not sure about this." I wasn't actually sure about it at first either. Rylan was trying to put in a Google gift card that his mom had got him, and it was popping up a weird message. So, but what about you, Kurt? What if you had to teach people?
Yeah, so there's a couple different ways on this because as you guys know, I do IT during the day. That's my day job. And so we have to constantly instruct our end users, the people that we do IT for, on what not to click on and how not to click and how to identify fake emails, because the emails are getting better. And frankly, we joked about AI a little while ago. The phishers, PHISH, the phishers are using AI to actually make grammatically correct emails now that actually look like real emails.
Yeah.
So, because it used to be that if they spelled computer with a 0, you knew it was bad.
They'd say all your base belonged to us.
Exactly.
In the 80s. I know it's not right.
Exactly. So, so there's that aspect of things. But with regards to the kids, I will tell you, like, I was a very early adopter of getting the kids their own desktop computers really early on. And I had parental software installed. And I still think that's a smart way to go. If you can put in a firewall at home with whitelist and blacklist options, lock it down, and then whitelist what you think they need to go to or should be allowed to go to. That also can cut down on the ads. It can cut down on just misclicks and bad, and literally I would put a message up on the screen because the parental controls allowed you to do this. If you feel you need to go to this website, go see daddy. and
Why'd that pop up for Wise and Nerdy? I don't understand.
Well, I have been to your house. So
I'm trying to think that. True.
I still think for parents, and particularly parents of younger kids, there's nothing wrong with parental control software and hardware firewalls that allow you to lock things down. I mean, frankly, we do IT for some schools. And so literally one of our schools, I shut everything down because they said, we'll tell you what we need to whitelist. Otherwise, lock it down. Well, the next day, I got about 100 requests for website openings because they didn't realize what they didn't have access to. And that's okay. It's better that way than the other way.
Yeah, I guess so.
And so there's a balance, to be sure, particularly for people at home. There's a balance because you want to not just prevent your kids from seeing bad things or going to bad places, but you want to teach them how to avoid those things too later on. And just by putting up a gate, great, but that teaches them nothing. It teaches them that they need to go to Bobby's to go on the good websites.
Right.
So we struck a balance, but I would also, now look, I think I'm probably an extreme, but I would get weekly reports from my parental control software saying, where did they attempt to go? And so it would just tell me, and I would, and if it was multiple times, I would go to the kids and say, okay, why do you think you need to go here? What is here? And make them tell me. And sometimes it was legit. Sometimes it wasn't. Sometimes it was, I didn't type that in. Which in some cases is true because clicking where an ad was tries to get them off and it wouldn't allow it to go anywhere, but still. So communication, it's a big deal, right? So, and then just teaching, like, just how about email safety to start with?
Yes, chat rooms, social safety, like Random Kid says here.
It's Random Kid is absolutely right, but it's all related, and it all has to do with open lines of communication with the people that you want to keep safe. Whether it's Kelsey or whether it's Aaron, we want to let them not go to the bad places. We want to keep those for ourselves.
Oh man. But I mean,
box fans only.
There's the saying that once it's posted to the internet, it never goes away. So
that's not true. I've tried to find archives of my old shows. I can't find them. They go away.
No, yes, but
that's because they need to have value.
But I mean, how many times have we seen like celebrities post something and then delete it later? But people have already taken tons of screenshots and whatnot, or it's on the Wayback Machine or whatever,
or the dark web, which is a real thing. Whether people want to admit it or realize it or not, it really is.
And so, yeah, just be careful with your interactions because you don't know who's on the other line. Too many people they call it catfished, where people pretend to be something they're not in a chat room, in DMs or Discord or whatever type of chat room you're talking about. AOL Messenger, of course. And Kurt. And
what year is this?
That's why I mentioned it, just for you, Kurt. And yeah, just don't tell people things about that you don't know, especially things about your personal life. Like they don't need to know what school you go to. They don't need to know like anything about your personal life, because they're trying to find information about you, and it very well could be they want to kidnap you or something else. You never know. You never know what some crazy person is trying to do with the information that you're giving them.
Right.
And so, like, I heard a story recently of a lady who she pulled her kids out of school and started homeschooling them, not because she wanted to homeschool them or the school was bad or anything like that. It's because her daughter had talked to somebody online and given them sufficient information to know, like, where they went to school, what their extracurricular activities were, and give them a rough idea of their schedule. And she's like, yeah, no, that's not good. They know way too much. This is a kidnapping risk. You are coming home and you are staying home for school. So
that seems a little extreme, but I don't know the rest of that story.
Yeah. So you guys are both on Facebook, right? I know, Charles, you're not as active on Facebook. Well, actually, you both. I don't know that I see a whole lot from you, but
right.
I'm on Facebook, but I have my account locked down so that only friends can see my posts, and I have it also locked down to where I can't receive friend requests from anyone who doesn't have a friend in common.
Okay, that's great. That's great. But one of the things that comes up on Facebook a lot is those quizzes, the like, particularly things like which character are you, quizzes, and those math problems where there's the multiple parentheses and it's like people argue about what the right answer is because they don't know PEMDAS. But but regardless, all of that largely is done to collect marketing information.
Yep.
They want to know, like, for example, the math problems a rudimentary idea of the level of education of people. So there's that.
Well, there's a lot of idiots in those chats.
No question, no question. But those guys may or may not be targeted depending on what needs to happen. You know, the which Disney princess are you quiz. Those things that happen.
Merida.
Well, of course.
No hesitation.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Those are even worse because people usually don't click on those quizzes unless they're interested in the subject matter to begin with.
Right.
And so, guess who gets more Disney princess ads now?
Yeah.
Particularly for Brave, Charles McFall.
Well, you cannot go wrong with Brave. Great movie, great video game. It's good stuff.
I've never played the video game, so I'll have to take your word for it.
So yeah, it's the Wild West out there. Now, luckily, kids are a little bit more savvy nowadays, because I would have done the same thing too. Just click on something and go, oh, that's wrong, and don't ever do that again. But they know what's possible out there way more than we did when we were young.
Yeah. The one thing I did forget to mention, if you have younger kids, I tell you, the Amazon Kid you get a Fire tablet for like $50 or $100, depending on you want the little ad or not on the screen. All right, so it might be a little bit more now. When I bought it for my kids, it was $50. I think it's still under $100 for the ad supported version.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's called now, but there is an app that comes native on that tablet by Amazon, and it's for kids. It's to let you lock down your kids' stuff. And they do sell you one that lets you have access as a subscription, but you can get it for free. And we did the free one, and I was able to pick out pretty much any game I wanted for them. And I could do the Facebook. There's a Facebook messenger for kids, specifically using the Facebook architecture, but super secure, and letting your kid talk to other kids. And you're talking about how you get reports, Kurt, about what they did. That I got tons of reports of who tried to talk to my kids, who they were talking to, how much time they're on, which wasn't much, because trying to explain to another parent who doesn't care, right? They give their kid a phone at 8 years old and they don't care, and trying to explain to them, say, hey, as a parent, you need to set this up with your Facebook page. Then you have to have this QR code, this special, really long code to connect it to, and then you got to hit approve. So now our kids can talk to each other. He's like, yeah, I don't want to bother.
I heard
But it
something,
was really cool.
I heard something the other day about giving your kid a cell phone, and how a lot of people are like, oh, it's giving your kid access to the world, because they're on the internet then. But what the person had said, what I heard was, they flipped it around. It gives the world access to your kid.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thing. I think, Joe, you started off with, you want to be safe on the internet, just unplug your computer.